Hey, what's going on, everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, so let's tackle the rumor mill because Kareem report just let us know about a potential rumor that's starting to gain steam, um, and it's the Clippers, not the Clippers. Excuse me, my mind's elsewhere. The Suns are talking about what they can do for Chris Paul, what they can do to get him off of their books and hopefully get something done in his regard. Now, I've heard things about Chris Paul earlier today in regards to the Suns are looking to find his successor. I, BDL44, told everybody about 2 days ago that I think it's time for the Suns to start thinking about Chris Paul's successor. Not to say that anybody's listening to me, but we're on the same page. It's approaching the trade deadline, and he ain't played but like 5 games all year. He's older now, and he's still on tap for 3 years, $28 million apiece. I hear names like Fred VanVleet. There's a few others too, some leading guards as well that they're trying to kick the can on to see if they can bring them in. I forgot the other names. I apologize. Manuel Quickly was another name that they're talking about, and somebody else too, a solid point guard that they wouldn't mind bringing in. But they're on the hunt for a point guard. I think Jalen Suggs makes a lot of sense. That was the conversation that brought me to saying they need to. I was talking about Jalen. And I said the Suns need to be thinking about his successor, Chris Paul's successor, and that would be a person that I would be targeting if I were the Suns, because you can get him potentially for a lower value than what he's worth right now, and he'll pop for you. And you can have him running next to Devin Booker and Ayton for a little while as he continues to ascend. That'll make a lot of sense for the Suns and their timeline if he can turn into who it is that I almost am certain he's going to eventually turn into. I don't really have any questions about Jalen Suggs. That's why I would trade for him right now if I were pretty much anybody. So this is one of those situations where it's like the Suns are in a tough spot because their contractual situation is as it is. They got Booker on a super max. They got Ayton on a big old max. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they gave Bridges something as well, which has him eating good. Cam Johnson, who's coming back from injury, I don't know what his contract situation is, but if he hasn't been paid, he needs to be paid. And he hasn't necessarily proven that he's going to be worth what it is that he's going to want. But it doesn't mean that he's not worth that just the same based on what I've seen from his game. So it's all over the place. I would be trying to move him if I'm the Suns. I'm moving Cam Johnson. I am. For this reason alone. He just can't stay healthy, and he is a high-level player and all of that. So I don't know what their plans would be. He's also a good player to keep. Who knows? But the point is, they can't pay everybody, and now they got to move on for Chris Paul. And the one thing that they see as a solution is Russell Westbrook's $47 million contract that's expiring off the books for our Lakers. They know the Lakers do not want to give up 2 picks to get rid of that contract. They have 2 players that they know are not worth the contracts that they have in Jay Crowder and Chris Paul, and they're hoping the Lakers will be willing to match those salaries with our expiring Russell Westbrook deal. I mean, it's one of those situations where if you want a quick answer from me, I'm definitely not doing that. But I can understand where there would be pluses on all of this for everybody. For one, if you're not of the mindset that Chris Paul is done, then you know he's a much more intelligent player to bring in right now than Russell Westbrook. That ain't even worth talking about. You're going to definitely have better shooting. You're definitely going to have great playmaking, and you're going to close games a lot better than Russell's been able to. But he ain't going to be on the floor. At least Russell's going to be there. Whatever you're getting from Russell, he's there. Chris, as I said, played like 5 games this season? No. It's not going in the right direction for Chris Paul. That's why they're trying to get rid of that contract. So, as a Laker fan, I would just let the Lakers know that we can do a lot better than bringing in Chris Paul at age 37 on a 3-year, $28 million contract that's only going to increase in value, and then attaching Jay Crowder, who I don't think has a whole lot of value at all right now. Like none, basically. That's an empty player, so you can't retrade him for anything. So you're bringing in a bag Chris Paul contract that you don't expect him to halfway even play on. And you're getting rid of Russell Westbrook, of whom is coming off your books at $47 million. That's a no-go. That's an absolute and utter no-go. And the Phoenix Suns are going to have to give me pick equity if they want me to take Chris Paul's contract. Yes, I'm going to want picks. And I don't even think they have any. So that's what I got to say to that. Ain't no way in hell. Do I respect Chris Paul's game? Of course. And do I think his game is predicated on being speedy and fast and all that? It's not. It's not. Just like Kyle Lowry is popping. You know how I look at Chris Paul, to be honest with you guys? If Chris Paul gets in shape and he can shake off these injuries, just like Al Horford is doing over there in Boston, he can do the same thing. Al Horford, because his game is predicated on smarts. It's predicated on balance, it's predicated on using everybody. Chris Paul's a freaking genius. So it's not about whether or not I would want to welcome Chris Paul on my team. I just have a different approach about what it is he's going to be giving me from going forward. He's not, he's a starter, but I got a real serious successor behind him. You know what I mean? Like, serious. And so it's like his contract, it's impossible to do it and build properly. So you don't even put yourself in that situation. And Phoenix shouldn't have either. We knew that when they paid him 3 years ago. That's what I'm talking about. This is what the Washington Wizards, we just made a video about the Wizards. Some contracts, my friends, there's a very little chance the contract is actually going to be any good. And if you sign Kyle Kuzma to $120 million, it ain't going to be no 140, something like that. That's too much, man. That's too much. Another contract comes to mind, Gordon Hayward. As soon as they drafted LaMelo Ball, the first thing they said is they need to get them a running mate for LaMelo Ball. Why? Why, Michael? When you know Gordon Hayward's contract was going to be bad when you signed him to it. But the fear was that their team wasn't going to be good enough with LaMelo, bringing in LaMelo, and they thought they were going to end up having him come to a situation that's so sour that he wouldn't see his future there. So they figured Gordon Hayward, which is like, I do this when I hear that. Gordon Hayward was going to help him want to stay in Charlotte or not want to stay in Charlotte. And it's like now, 3 years later, they can't get rid of the contract. It's like, don't you see that? Like I see that. And when you do it, don't do it. Chris Paul's contract is the exact same way. You knew damn well y'all shouldn't have paid him that. He was already older then. You know what I mean? And he had just come out of the finals, so he had demand on a high-level contract. But you got to see the fruit in understanding what it means to have the back years of that contract on your tab and what you're going to have to do when it's time to get rid of it. And that's what it is. You are going to have trouble getting rid of it. Now, if I'm say, the Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul's contract, you guys, honestly, I don't really have a whole lot of hope for moving that. This going to have to be the Lakers in a worse situation in their eyes, even though it's actually not in our eyes. But you would hope the Lakers would see their situation as worse to where you bring a smart player like Chris Paul in the next couple of years. Maybe you can have LeBron sign an extension because now he's playing with Chris Paul in the same duration of time, and now you can extend the timeline of old man timeline, right? The problem is, who the hell wants an old man timeline? That's the first thing. And the second thing is Chris Paul guarding anybody ever at this stage in his career? The answer is absolutely not. He's calm. So what exactly are we bringing him to be? Hurt, just like AD. There's nothing there, man. There's nothing there. As Kareem said, this is probably coming from the Phoenix side. If I'm a Phoenix Suns fan, I'm praying to God the Lakers are stupid enough to do this. And you hope to God that no one hears BDF 44 telling them not to. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure they follow me enough. Enough of them follow me to know that this is not something I'll accept as a fan. No way, no how. And there's a lot of logic behind that, but none more so than Chris Paul just can't stay healthy these days, man. No more than that. Because if Chris Paul was playing like Al Horford right now, I would like him on my team at a price I can afford. But not $28 million for 3 years. And certainly not giving up Russell Westbrook's contract that's coming off of the books. It's going to give me $47 million of free cap space at the end of this summer. Or the end of this year, right? No way. You think I'm going to take back washed up Chris Paul and washed up Jake Crowder? And you ain't going to attach Cam Johnson and all types of other stuff that would make it so that it makes sense? Picks and stuff that make sense to me? Good luck. Good luck. So I'm telling you right now, you're going to be hung up on before you even get a chance to get that sentence out if you ain't on the phone with me. I ain't barely answering that call. What Phoenix won? That Jay Crowder? Man, send him the voicemail, bro. Chris Paul's contract? For what? Russell Westbrook's expiring contract? Man, send him to voicemail, please. That's how that go. I ain't picking up the phone. Phoenix, you don't really have anything we want, bro. Just going to be honest with you, Phoenix. You don't have a whole lot that anybody wants. Cam Johnson is a player I'd like to add to my team. Mikal Bridges is someone I'd obviously like to have because he never misses any games ever. But other than that, man, I'm cool, bro. I like DeAndre Ayton, but not at that price. Not at that price. I like Devin Booker, but who's giving up Devin Booker? Like, that's not real. So it's like, you don't have nothing I want, bro. And no, I'm not giving you Russell Westbrook's contract. In fact, given the circumstances, there are other deals that have been rumored that I have turned down that I like a lot better than this. Jay Crowder and Chris Paul? Nah. I'll take Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson, and Jakob Poeltl expiring before I take that garbage. I would definitely take Bogey and Nerlens Noel before I take that garbage. What else? Charlotte got something? Gordon Hayward If I can get PJ Washington, Kelly Oubre, hell yeah, I like that a lot better than I like Chris Paul at age 37 and Jay Crowder, who I don't think is that great. Phoenix, I understand that was worth doing. It really is worth doing. If I'm in your situation, it's probably one of the first things I'm suggesting. Let's see if the Lakers are actually, we can max that salary. I know they want to get rid of it. Let's see. Let's see if we can release that, and hopefully the Lakers will be willing to do something stupid like that. But the reality is, no, we're not that stupid. Come on, man. We're not that stupid. We just got a good deal for Rui Hachimura. We're not going to turn around and throw away value. $47 million of free cap space we can give to several players at the end of this year, including the ones that we want to keep. And we're going to throw that all away, throw away all that cap flexibility to bring in Chris Paul, who can't play anymore. Yeah, no. Nah, that's the old Lakers. That's the reputation of the Lakers that did everything wrong. You have to try to learn that on us after we trade Zubats for pennies. You got to try to run that on us before I started this channel. Then the Lakers might be willing to, you know what I'm saying? Honestly. But no, we're never going to do that, man. We're never going to do that, Phoenix. BDL44. I thank you all for watching.